Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Just Shout Out Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here to review The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 9, entitled Squeeze. And now, first thing, I know that we also are going to review Better Call Saul. That will be up later today for you Better Call Saul fans. But the thing is that I prioritize the Walking Dead fans because I know that they're not going to dislike my videos for having opinions different than theirs. So yeah, that's why I'm reviewing The Walking Dead first this time. That won't really ever happen again since Walking Dead is on Sundays and Better Call Saul is on Mondays. So yeah, double episodes, and both episodes were actually pretty good. Personally, I liked this episode a lot more than Better Call Saul, because there were a couple of parts that were really intense, in terms of just like, wow, this is really, like, how are they going to get out of this? How are they going to get out of this? There was some kind of cheesy slash kind of campy solutions to things, and I also felt like I don't really like Carol anymore, somewhat. Like, in terms of, I don't know, it's just, I like her character because I think that she's interesting again in this season. But when you really like think about the big picture, when you think about her character, where she's been all these different seasons, she's kind of like a zombie of her previous self. I mean, she's it seems weird to say, it's just, I don't know, like, her character is long past her expiration date, and I know that's terrible to say, but it's just true when you think about the big picture. If this storyline was done a couple of seasons ago with her, maybe I would think differently, but yeah, that's just what I'm thinking with Carol. But still, I really liked this episode. In particular, I liked a lot the Negan stuff. Obviously, you guys know by now everything about him in any episode I like pretty much. And also, I love these certain scenes, and I loved how kind of creepy this episode was. It was very, but the one thing is you kind of knew that they were going to get out this episode. You knew that they weren't going to be able to do this thing where they would be stuck there the whole season, uh, because we're getting into spoilers now, but I mean, come on. But the thing is that this episode, it was good. It was pretty good. It's just, I don't know. I'm looking for it's I don't know how to explain it. It's not a great episode. It's a good episode. It's just, it gave me a good feeling about where the series is heading. Like, more better things are to come. And I also liked the acting, of course, was good. I mean, nothing to complain about there. And yeah, uh, and now my rating is, I give this episode a B plus. And now we're finally on to the real spoilers. Sorry about the spoiler. I didn't say who got it. Okay, whatever. Okay, spoilers. I shouldn't have said anything. I've just made it worse. But I really like the fact that the teaser trailer, that it showed Jerry, it showed him, quote unquote, dying, and we all thought, like, God damn it, this show, the trailer shows this character dying. That's how desperate they are to get people to watch. No, he does not die. I thought that scene was intense. It was very intense. It was very, because I am a little claustrophobic myself, and you know, he's bigger too. He's a big guy, and just the thought of that, it's just really, really, really creepy. And I love that scene. That was fantastic, very creative. Again, there were lots of creative things in this episode, a lot of creative problems, a lot of creative different scenarios. And and also Negan, there was some really funny stuff with Negan going on this episode. First off, he sees Alpha go into the bathroom, and then he makes a joke about it, and then he tries to give her advice, which I thought was cool, and then she pushes him into the latrine, like, oh, and it's like it's weird. It's like almost like dark comedy, and then if that's not enough, she gets the feeling that he's right, because obviously, I mean, he's right. But the thing is, she's really starting to show her human side a lot more, in terms of, she said, I mean, the Whisperers, they're supposed to be inhuman. They're supposed to not have human urges. And you know that Alpha was finding any excuse she could to have sex with Negan. I mean, you know that that's the truth. She came up with this excuse like, oh, I'm just thanking you in a way that you would understand. Kind of like insulting, but still, you know that she wanted to do that all along. And it's kind of funny, actually, because it just exposes the sort of hypocrisy in the Whisperers' thinking, their mentality, like they're not human, they don't have names, quote unquote, but then they call each other by alpha, beta, gamma, whatever the F, alpha. Come on, I mean, just constant. There's always going to be hypocrisy in these types of groups, these types of cults, and there you go. And it was really funny how he just kept talking and talking and talking. It's like, that's so Negan. He's like, this isn't a praying mantis situation, is it? I was like, if it was, then she's not going to answer you. And he admits that too. But anyway, it's sad that two characters this episode, it looks like they died. Connie and Magna, they both died. Rest in peace to them. They won't have to eat canned dog food and wipe themselves with leaves anymore. That's great. But with Carol, I just don't know what's going to happen with her. I don't know where she's going to go. In fact, I don't know about Carol. I don't know. Last half, it seemed like she was a lot more. She wasn't as sort of unpredictable. Then she did that thing in the mid-season finale, and now it's just like it's anything is possible with her. And then Daryl, who knows with him, and who knows with everyone. But still, I really liked this episode. It was very enjoyable. It was a fun ride. In terms of the problems, again with Carol, that was the one problem I had. And then also, in terms of the episode of solutions that I talked about, I did not like the whole jumping thing. I mean, right when the episode opens, they're jumping and they're playing this obstacle course. I mean, I thought that they were going to be stuck there for a long time, and then it's just like, oh, wait a second, there are these rocks that we can jump on, like Mario. And they're jumping and they're having trouble jumping and everything, and you think one of them's gonna die. It's just it's a little it reminds me of the movie The Wizard, something like that type of thing. And so yeah, that's all I have to say about this episode. I know I've been rambling a little bit. It's just this episode was very chaotic. And it was very sort of like action-packed as opposed to like substance storytelling. That sounds bad. I don't mean it in that way, but that's why it's sort of hard to talk about. So yeah, B+. I like this episode quite a bit. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, check out our other Walking Dead reviews, and then subscribe to our channel for more Walking Dead reviews. And that's it. Goodbye, everybody.